TNT's economy is slowing down and the central bank just confirmed it. So, central bank dropped its May monetary policy report and the numbers are telling a story that the government doesn't want you to know. Consumer loans are down to 5.2% from 8% just 6 months ago. Business credit dropped from 6.6% to 3.7%. People are borrowing less. Companies are investing less. And foreign exchange lending has actually gone negative. Central bank says that this is due to higher interest rates, job uncertainty, and a new card transaction limit that is affecting people's willingness to borrow money. Now, let's be clear, this isn't a crash, but it's a definite warning sign. When households stop borrowing and businesses pull back on their investments at the same time, then economic activity slows down. Less spending, less growth. And TNT was already growing just 1% this year according to the IMF. On the bright side, construction and real estate lending are still strong, which tells you something very interesting. People with property and capital are doing just fine in this country. Just the ordinary consumers who's tightening up. Government came into power promising economic revitalization, but the central bank's own data is showing that the country is moving more cautious by the quarter. Government needs to move fast because right now the numbers are trending in the wrong direction, and we do not want to end up in a situation where we have to face a recession in Trinidad and Tobago, because the signs are there. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Have you thought twice this year about taking out a loan, or if you're a business about pulling back on investments? Leave your thoughts and like and follow as always.
I want to talk about this person behind me here. The last time he came to Parliament and spoke is when he tried to use my name and others and said we were unqualified. This incompetent Minister of Youth Affairs, Sport and Youth Affairs. Where is he? Where is he? What is he doing in the Ministry of Sport and Youth Affairs today? When last did you hear a report or any update regarding the Ministry of Youth Affairs work from this man here? Remember last year they had some big PR stunts called up recruitment drive in Vancouver, and thousands of young hopefuls flocked Vancouver and other areas in hopes to get employment. Well, that was quickly shut down because, of course, nobody was hired in that recruitment drive. It stalled, and of course, young people today are still on the breadline, waiting and hoping for some opportunity to come their way. Now, I raise this because people see me every day in Point Fortin and otherwise asking and pleading, asking me if I know who is hiring, and the fact is I don't know. There is no opportunities available. Nothing is being done to stimulate the economy, to generate employment. Normally in the Ministry of Youth, under Foster Cummins, even if there was employment, there were opportunities to make persons more employable. There were programs that had stipends, many of which had stipends. There are programs that gave young people an opportunity to make their own living even if there weren't a job available. And what have they done? They cut and they stopped, and they were so proud to stop all of these programs. And for what? Now today, you are seeing young people who are literally begging for an opportunity. And why must they? This is the same government that would have cut $45 million from OJT. The same government that would have ended the micro small business grant scheme at NEDCO that gave up to 1,000, I think, yes, 1,000 persons a year, $20,000 to start a business. That has been cut and ended off with immediately upon these people return to office. So it begs the question, who are really winning under the UNC? Because it is not the young people of Trinidad and Tobago.
It takes a very reckless and irresponsible government to just shut down programs like that, not understanding the social fallout on ordinary people. And then your justification for it is corruption and criminality and what have you. Your role as a government is to go in and fix, and where you discover criminality, you take appropriate action.
To my Honorable Prime Minister, Ms. Kamala Persad-Bissessar, I hope this message reach you with great urgency. Madam Prime Minister, Trinidad and Tobago is under a great state of emergency, in a state of emergency that your government placed us in to solve the crime situation in this country. Unfortunately, The SOE is incompetent. So it shows us that it makes no sense we are in a state of emergency because nothing is being done. The criminal elements are getting away daily with their crime and nothing is being done. Your Minister of National Security recently stood in Parliament and stated that he knows who the criminal elements are. He knows where they reside. Yet he does nothing about the situation that is occurring in this beautiful country. And that alone shows us that the National Security Minister is an incompetent human being that needs to be removed from that position he's in, because he cannot do anything for the citizen of this country. As a leader of Trinidad and Tobago, Madam Prime Minister, you have the power to inspire, you have the power to direct, and you have the power to make us, the citizens of this country, feel safe. Unfortunately, Madam Prime Minister, the citizens of this country has nothing in them more than fear, which is not right. We place you there because we believe that you have the power to run this country with perfection. Unfortunately, for the year of you being there, you showed us that you are all about the blame game too. PNM people, PNM all over the place. Madam Prime Minister, when was for you to be elected? You did not know anything about PNM people, nor about UNC people. You specifically said that when UNC wins, everybody wins. When you state everybody wins, it did not mean cut off or divide persons of an ethnic value. It means that everybody in Trinidad and Tobago wins. Madam Prime Minister, we are not winning. We are not winning. The citizens of Trinidad and Tobago are living in fear, while your government ministers are doing nothing but causing more disrepute and more harm and insult on the people that place you there. Do you think that this is right? Do you think, Madam Prime Minister, that it is right that your government elected persons sits in Parliament to go up on social media and break the standards of the very people that have you all in the positions that you all are in? You have the greatest number of members in Parliament, and when they come out on social media, they sound illiterate and incompetent, and they hold those type of positions. They are supposed to be educated people, and they do not sound educated. Imagine, Madam Prime Minister, that the criminal elements that you all want to make us believe is illiterate is the ones honestly running Trinidad and Tobago. Do you think that that looks good? That while you all say they are illiterate, illiterate means cannot read and write, right? They cannot read and write. Yet, they are so powerful to hold a gun and to kill somebody and get away with it. How? How could you all run this country, Madam Prime Minister, and you all cannot hold the criminals in this country? How can you all run this country, Madam Prime Minister, and you all are seeing the faces of the criminals that committing the crime, and up to this day you all cannot hold them? A man neck was chopped up in Toko by 2 youths. Actually 3, because the one holding the phone is also a criminal element. And you all have the photo of these 2 men. And up to now, they cannot be held. they cannot be charged and they cannot be held accountable for the act that they committed on the man on the ground. Madam Prime Minister, a 2-year-old lost his life recently. And Mr. Philip Alexander went upon social media inhumanely and spoke of the people's death as PNM stated people, PNM illiteracy, PNM this and PNM that. What did you do, Madam Prime Minister? You are silent like your mouth is zip. Madam Prime Minister, you are the leader of this country, yet your members seems to be the one running this country, Madam Prime Minister. Do you think it is right? The people of this country is watching you as incompetent. Do you think that it is right, Madam Prime Minister? Madam Prime Minister, this country shouldn't be running under PNM and UNC. You all supposed to knock heads together and ask yourself, what can we do to solve the crime situation in this country and make this country better? It has been a year, Madam Prime Minister, and your members in government only playing a game, a blame. Yet persons are dying that did not do any criminalness. They are being shot because they come for one but they're taking all, Madam Prime Minister. Who really running Trinidad and Tobago, Madam Prime Minister? Who running Trinidad and Tobago? Every day you wake up and you ask yourself, who is the leader of Trinidad and Tobago? It seems the criminal running this country. And it's not right. It is not right that a man that never went and educate himself and not getting paid to run a country is the one running this country. How deplorable and distasteful. When is Trinidad going to get better? When are we going to stop play the blame game? When are we going to join together and do what is right? Bring back the love, Madam Prime Minister. Stop dividing the people of Trinidad and Tobago and letting them believe that the Indian better than the African and the African is the worst. Change the dynamics of what you all are creating. A leader has no right to create division in a country, Madam Prime Minister. Join in with the PNM members, the opposition members, and you all put your head together and ask yourself, what can we do to make Trinidad better? The ZOSO could never make Trinidad and Tobago if the SOE not making it better. Creating the ZOSO and bringing it here. If the SOE, state of emergency, where you could run up in somebody's house and find the guns and find the ammunition, is not doing anything. Do you think the ZOSO could do anything, Madam Prime Minister? It can't. You all only want to implement things, and if we give all the opportunity to implement it, the place going to get worse. Because if you can't find the criminals in the SOE, how could you find it in the ZOSO? Let we be real, Madam Prime Minister. Madam Prime Minister, you were placed in positions for a reason. Please stand up and do what you have to do. Stop blaming this one, blaming that one. It is not solving the situation. Find a solution and fix the solution, Madam Prime Minister. Or just step out. Because you're not making any sense. Your government not making any sense. You're not even holding your members accountable. Time to remove these people that saying certain things that is causing more rift and more harm than solutions, Madam Prime Minister. I am hurt. And I need for you to fix our country. Please fix Trinidad and Tobago. As a Prime Minister, get God involved. Get him involved, Madam Prime Minister.
So, on that whole $3.4 billion issue they have, you know, where you in, right? You're in? Lovely. He in. Look at my day. See heavy duty. But on that $3.4 billion issue, because I already see the comments on social media from the glorious opposition, because I refuse to call them name. Yes. They're not even the opposition, but we'll give them that accolade because that's who they are right now, all right? They already saying that because it's due to corruption and there was corruption in it, yada yada yada, right? I would say at least the government today, the Kamala Persad-Bissessar-led administration, have the dignity to cancel something or to pause something if ever an inch of corruption is ever called out in it. The same thing, the same stance that she took back 2010, 2015 is the same stance now. There's no corruption in it. We spoke with Minister Alexander. There's a pause on the awarding of the contracts. They cancel all of that to allow for a more, as the people would like to say, a more public tendering of contracts for the HDC. And the government's mandate is to build 20,000 homes in Trinidad and Tobago. 20,000. And that's a mandate from now until 2030. Right? So regardless of what the opposition want to say, regardless of what they want to do, the mandate is still on the table to build homes for the people of Trinidad and Tobago. What say you, Heavy?
Well, let the chips fall with me, right? And I know this government is out to perform and out to deliver. So if they have to restart the whole bidding process and the whole procurement process, so be it. We don't have time to waste. We don't have time to wait for nobody for the OPR to come make up their mind whether or not if the procurement had flaw in it, whatever. And these so-called contractors who say that they didn't get the opportunity to place their bid and all these things. Yeah, what? Okay, they didn't get the opportunity. Now we go and start over the whole process. Here's the opportunity. Now we have nothing to complain about.
I like that because they have nothing to complain about anyway in all of this. Nothing at all.
Anyway, but seeing that you didn't find it was unfair, you didn't get a part to be in it. All right, here's your chance.
Tender your process.
Make sure you have everything on point and you tender.
Then that's all.
That's all.
That's all.
Let's go.
And we were building 3,400 homes with 3.4 billion. Now the price, price skyrocket.
Yeah.
We want to build all 20,000.
Price of cocoa going up.
Yeah, price of cocoa going up. So Trinidad and Tobago, this just means more housing for you. We have a lot of people waiting in the system for homes anyway. You take it, all right? So now you have the opportunity to get homes. 20,000 will soon be on the table.
Good morning, my beautiful people. A quick PSA, and this is to discuss the Honorable Kamala Persad-Bissessar. Keep in mind, I have no affiliation to any political party at all. I am for country. And I need you all to understand that a government is a reflection of the people because, of course, somebody voted her in. Whatever problems you all may have with her should be dealt with domestically. When you all are encouraging outsiders to disrespect the leader of your country, you are disrespecting yourself. As a family, if you have a problem with your spouse, your parents, siblings, you handle that inside. When you go outside, nobody not supposed to know that you all have problems. That is one. Two, they're saying they want to pass around Kamala and say, oh no, we don't want her, we passing her to Grenada. No, Grenada don't want her, pass her to Guyana. Even Antigua saying, yes, we claim their steel pan, but that is not a warranted punishment to take Kamala, right? First to begin, Kamala, be it she's good or bad, is the leader of the greatest Caribbean nation, the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. The people, the land, and the resources are bountiful. And even in our lowest moment, many can't come close. So let's establish that. Okay? So the disrespect, the last time the St. Vincent Prime Minister said monopoly money, yet they're upset now when we make tariffs. Right? The main problem with Kamala at the end of the day is her last reign. She said Trinidad and Tobago is not an ATM. And they're still bringing it up today. So they know with this current government, be it is a good government or bad government, they're just using the downfalls to make a big deal out of it. It's because they know they cannot milk Trinidad and Tobago money. Right? They can't come begging with their hand open. Hey, we need this, we need that. Right? While at the same time pillaging from us and pillaging our culture with lack of respect at the end of the day. Because Kamala ain't do these people nothing for them to be getting on like that. What Kamala has done any of these other Caribbean nations for them to have such disdain for her? Is that ATM comment?
is the fact that they cannot get any more money and milk our nation, which they have done for years with debt forgiveness. So if you want to return Kamala to sender, I don't even know how she left in the first place. I need you all to return Steel Pan, Calypso, Soca, our carnival. Don't use our designers, okay? Return everything. Return all the money that we gave, all the resources, whatever you took from us, asked from us, and we gave whatever it may be. Return all, and with interest. How about that?
It's been a year and change since the UNC government has been in power. Yeah? And Auntie Kamala has promised the whole of Trinidad and Tobago that when UNC win, that everybody win. We voting for a change. Well, Auntie Kamala, sorry to tell you, the only change that majority of the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago have right now, the only change that they get from the UNC is a change of mind. Nothing else. Because people out here want justice for Joshua Samaru, Angelo, the children that being murdered in the streets, the corrupted TTPS, and you ain't doing nothing. It is clear to see that all you have no plan. All you have no crime plan. All you have no plan for Trinidad and Tobago. And I want to tell all you that this economy is going to mash up under the UNC. Only remember what I tell all you, right? This economy is going to be mashed up under the UNC. The UNC is going to be blamed for this. Yeah? People out there standing up for justice. We want equality, because in Trinidad in the anthem say where every creed and race find an equal place, and the UNC government come into power and mash up all of that. Right now it's strictly racism going on in the country because of this government. So let me be, instead of coming out here and only going behind bloggers for talking their opinions and how they feel, the same bloggers that assisted all here to go into into power, yeah? Foolish us again, that only sending all kind of surveyors pretending to be, the police pretending to be surveyors to come and get information and put some more energy into fixing the crime situation, into we children being murdered in this country. Look what's going on. They could have murdered Joshua Samaru, but they couldn't empty the clip, as you say, Auntie Kamala, on that monster of a Rasta. You understand? Because he's not human. They couldn't do that. But an innocent man, innocent children, babies, as a matter of fact, being murdered. This clearly shows that you are going on, Auntie Kamala. You're not ready for this. The only change that Trinidad and Tobago has gotten from the UNC government is a change of mind. Yeah, I said.
And everybody is so like concerned with appearing like they handling everything well, and like they could afford to like travel and treat themselves and everything like that. And it's like we are all wearing plastic. Cotton, 4 years. My people were brought to this side of the fucking earth because cotton was so cheap that we could make so much things from cotton. And now you're telling me that cotton is so rare and it's so priceless that I have been priced out of affording cotton clothes. Do you think that cars today are made to run 30 years in the future? No, they're not. Fridges, washing machines, phones, laptops, computers, gaming devices, everything is made to break, and everything is made of plastic, and everything is far too expensive. COVID was just a big excuse to double the cost of living. Like, it's actually mad what has happened to us in the last just 6 years. It is the greatest transfer of wealth I have ever, and I have witnessed it. I'm living through it. And all that we're all concerned about is partying and buying more plastic and appearing that we have the better plastic than the person next to us. Like, people constantly complaining they can't find jobs, nowhere hiring. They want you to be doing 2-3 jobs for like base level pay. You understand what I'm saying? They do not want to lower the price of anything. Nothing is going down, everything is going up, and everything is an excuse for why it should go up. You need like 2-3 jobs in this economy. That's what the base is now. You need to have a side hustle, you need to monetize, you need to like our parents used to be able to work one job, a government job, and be able to and have a house and a car and a family, and we just taking it, dog. Like,
for 25 years, everybody knew that the drug money had to go somewhere. Think about it. Billions of dollars worth of drugs passed through Trinidad and Tobago. The gangs on the ground, we lock them up, we shoot them, we put them on news. But the money, nobody ever asks about the money until now. Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar is alleging that senior bank officials, former and current, help local businesses transfer foreign currency to drug cartels. And the Americans, they are already moving. US visas got revoked. International agencies are sharing information. That's the kind of heat that doesn't come unless somebody somewhere has receipts. This is the part of the story we never see in the Caribbean. We always catch the soldiers, never the generals. The person on the block gets 15 years, and the person in the boardroom gets a handshake. If what Kamala's saying is true, and that's still a big if, this could be the first time in this country that we see the top getting touched. Law was never really blind in this country, but it may be finally opening its eyes. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below on this entire situation. Do you believe what our Prime Minister is saying about the 1% in Trinidad and Tobago? Also like and follow us always.
That's still going. Let's take a look at this. Poverty in Trinidad and Tobago is spreading beyond the usual vulnerable groups and is now affecting working families who are struggling to stay afloat. Groups like the Children's Ark and Glimmer of Hope say they are seeing the rise of the new poor, people with jobs who cannot make ends meet. So the fact that we have people who were sent home and are jobless and are suffering, now we have people who are working and are suffering also. I keep saying this over and over and over again. The cost of living is high. I keep saying this over and over again. Food prices is astronomically high. You all were supposed to establish a committee to monitor and regulate the price and the cost for food. Every time I go to the grocery, I am seeing items raising by $1. That is not right. That is wickedness. How do you want people to feed their families? The cost for rent is astronomically high also. Is anybody regulating that? There are parents who are unable to send their children to their graduation. There are parents who are unable to put out their children for their proms. There are parents unable to pay for registration fees coming up, pay for graduation coming up. And they are bombarding me, asking me for help. How can I help? How? Do you all care? All you care? These things just piss me off. These things just piss me off. I have somebody messaging me. She can't go her daughter primary school graduation and she asking me for assistance. This is a UNC supporter. She can't pay the graduation fee. She don't even have a dress. So I say, okay, darling, I have a dress and I have a one, I will give it to you. And I have to find that money to help her, as well as put out my daughter for her prom. And I'm saying, who winning? Who winning? Not even the UNC supporters winning. Who winning? Who winning? Something needs to be done. And I would have thought you would have made access to social welfare easy, seeing as people suffering, but no, only have somebody in the Tunapuna sub office like a troll in helping in cancelling people applications, being wicked and evil. I would have thought you would have made welfare and access to the food cards easy, because people need it. People are in need. I don't have a charity, but I just still try to help. Her child graduation is Wednesday. I had to do something. I had a one face. I have to go out on my own and face paying rent, leaving my house. I had to start over from scratch. Where are the government MPs? Where is Ms. Mohit? Go into social welfare and see what's going on. Things piss me off where people suffering out here. And the working class, some are who are working under minimum wage. How you people survive on a 20-50 minimum wage rate? Come on, man. People can't even maintain themselves. I mean, I don't care about me. I could rock this hairstyle until next year. I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn. It is what it is. I don't have to wear makeup. My lip could stay dry. Once my children is well taken care of, I don't care about me, you know. I could wear rags. And that's what people thinking now. And I'm saying something needs to be done. Kudos to the bloggers that are going out there, like King. King is going out there and helping. My lover, Tasha, going out there and helping. That my darling. She gave me a hamper and I gave it to someone. She's such a sweetheart. Olive, I love you, girl. You're doing God's work. Warrior Princess does do her thing. She does do her thing. What about those who are on the receiving end collecting $8,000 a month working at Wassa? Well, they can't help people, boy. Well, they can't help. Help somebody now. Help somebody. Stark all you go and help somebody now. Calling you. Go and help somebody. People hungry and suffering. And it's not only Afro suffering, it's East Indians. People in my inbox are East Indians and UNC supporters. We voted for UNC. May God help us, you know. May God help us.
Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. A complaint has been filed at the OPR against a third housing project under the UNC government for $150 million. Let me put that into perspective for you. We have two housing projects which are currently being investigated by the OPR. The first one is for $3.4 billion launched by the HDC in collaboration with the Ministry of Housing under Line Minister David Lee. The second project being investigated is for $100 million under Landmark TT in collaboration with the Ministry of Legal Affairs under Line Minister Saddam Hussein. Now, when Saddam Hussein, the complaint has been filed against this third project for $150 million. When Saddam Hussein was questioned by the media and he chose to respond this time, as opposed to the last time where he was hiding from the media and the people for almost a week, Saddam's response was he was not aware of the complaint. Now, I find that hard to believe because the UNC government is a government of liars. But okay, Saddam Hussein says he was not aware. His second response was, which is more alarming and which should be very alarming for every concerned citizen of Trinidad and Tobago, is what he chose to do, ladies and gentlemen, is threaten the OPR. His response was, the OPR has questions to answer. Minister Hussein, let me say this to you. You have questions to answer to the people of Trinidad and Tobago because you report to the people of Trinidad and Tobago. Start with answering the people's questions before you ask or demand answers from anyone else. And secondly, the government of Trinidad and Tobago and every state enterprise reports to the taxpayers, the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. And if anyone has questions to answer, it would be you and your government. That's one. I want to ask you two questions this morning, Saddam. Is it your position, because you chose in Parliament like every coward does in politics, to respond under parliamentary privilege. So I want to ask you, outside of Parliament, is it your position, since you have cited gross corruption and nepotism under the PNM when they were in office in relation to housing projects, is it your position that because they did it, it is now your turn, the UNC's turn, to do it? Because if you are using nepotism, you're using gross misbehavior in public office to defend your position, then that is saying to me, and I guess every right-thinking citizen of Trinidad and Tobago, that your position is, they did it, so now it's our turn. I wish to remind you, Saddam, that the UNC was voted in office because the UNC said they were better. The UNC promised to be better, to be accountable and transparent to the people of Trinidad and Tobago. The UNC came to the voters and asked for their votes on the premise that they were going to come into office and they were going to be better than the previous administration. So if it is your position that they did it and now it's our turn, you are not better. You are not the change. And in essence, you have lied to the people of Trinidad and Tobago. My second question is, you are saying that the PNM engaged in gross misbehavior in public office, in high levels of corruption and nepotism relating to housing projects and other aspects across governance when they were in office. When you were in opposition, your party was in opposition, Saddam Hussein, did you file any complaints against the PNM for corruption? Did you send any evidence? Did you send any files to the DPP to launch an investigation into that alleged corruption? Because I'm assuming you have evidence, because you stood in the nation's parliament and you said that the PNM engaged in corruption. And every Monday morning, the bacchanal machinery that belongs to the UNC sends out about 1 million posts with PNM corruption. If you have all this evidence of corruption had all this evidence of corruption while you were in opposition, did you file any complaints? How do you expect the OPR or any other entity to investigate if there is no complaint to investigate? Because the PNM is in opposition now, and they have already filed, and the agents have already filed 2 complaints against the UNC, who is in government now. Secondly, the UNC is in office. The UNC is the government of Trinidad and Tobago. You have the means, you have the resources, and you have the ability to investigate or to cause to investigate misbehavior in public office under the PNM. Have you sent those files? Since you have all this evidence, have you sent those files to the DPP? Have you filed any complaints at any state entities, at the TTPS, anywhere against the PNM for corruption in office? Because if you have not, then that answers my first question, which is they did it, so now it's our turn. The position of the people of Trinidad and Tobago is that we are demanding transparency and accountability for taxpayers' dollars. So when you come out into the public space, Saddam, and you say that no taxpayers' money is being used for this housing project, that is a gross, blatant lie. The state lands that are being allocated for these projects, the state lands that are being transferred to contractors for these projects, they have a real dollar value. They are assets of the people of Trinidad and Tobago. What is the value of those state lands that you are utilizing for these projects? Because that value is the taxpayers' dollars that are being spent for these projects. The people of Trinidad and Tobago are onto you, UNC. They are realizing day by day that your government is nothing but a bunch of liars. And instead of addressing valid concerns and valid questions from the people of Trinidad and Tobago, you use your bacchanal machinery to attack in the most vile and despicable ways, to silence those valid concerns and those valid questions. The people of Trinidad and Tobago are demanding answers from you. And Saddam Hussein, you are accountable to the people of Trinidad and Tobago. So that level of arrogance that you feel you can address the people with, the people of Trinidad and Tobago will not forget. You will come, and your party will come again to the same people that you are dismissing as irrelevant and ask for their votes. And on that day, you will realize that misbehavior in public office, the inability or the unwillingness to account to the people of Trinidad and Tobago does not go down well with the taxpayers of Trinidad and Tobago.
Wagwan, the beautiful, beautiful people of Trinidad and Tobago. My good people, in today's video, we are going to talk about something that is very, very sensitive, very, very informative, very, very educational. And before that, welcome back to this amazing channel. So there is a question that many Trinidadians always ask themselves, and that is if the new leadership is delivering on its promises and across the entire twin island of Trinidad and Tobago. You know, all these people, they have very different opinions regarding the topic that we are focusing on today. We will have those that are feeling hopeful. We will have those that are feeling disappointed. We will have those that are feeling, frustrated. And of course, among them, many of them are those that are simply waiting to see real results with their own eyes. Because you see, at the end of the day, leadership is not just about speeches and promises. It's about what the good people experience in their day-to-day lives. So today we will look at these promises. We will look at the reality. We will just talk about crime, economy, and the expectations of the good people of Trinidad and Tobago. So kindly comment down below what you think about our topic today. Your contribution is highly appreciated, and feel free, just be respectful. So everyone has the right to share their view, their point of view on this, and just talk about it, because we will end up educating ourselves, informing ourselves better and better. So whenever a new government comes in, people always expect change, because in the first place they voted so that they can actually experience that change and the promises from this particular new government. And apart from the change that they expect, there is action, the results. There is the improvement part. There is this part whereby people are promised hope, then there is a lot of good things anyway. So what happens normally with the good people of the world, and more so in this video that focuses on Trinidad and Tobago, most people tend to listen carefully during the campaign period, what you're saying, what you're promising. And you know what, people remember, because they have the clips, they recorded them, and later on they'll come and show you, this is what you said and we're not saying anything. So these plans that you said during the campaign period, they are remembered. So most of the time after these elections, the real test begins. Like people are asking if those promises could become a reality, because you see different governing bodies tends to switch and concentrate on something else. Most of the time we see these leaders promising, and when it comes to delivering, they ask for more time, probably because of the implementation process. And anything that has been promised, it will require resources, and of course people will be asking, and they want to know, they want to see this progress, and they want to see that things are moving in the right directions, and these promises are becoming results. So people believe that change takes time, but again, the government is that institution or governing body that is 100% believed to be the one that should be fixing everything like in an overnight, which is not the case. Again, because you see, certain issues, okay, we know that they need urgent actions, and that is why they will be acted upon like immediately. And as much as people want to see faster results, in some they will see, but again, there will be some differences, and that is where public trust comes in which is very, very important. Public trust involves transparency, good communication, and a leadership that listens to its people, because you see, ordinary people that voted for you are not just watching what the leaders are saying, they are watching what their leaders are also doing. And the voices of the citizens are very, very important, because if you look at Trinidad and Tobago, people have different experiences. And at some point in our life, or even in these clips that we always play, you'll hear people saying that they've actually seen positive steps, and others are like, we're still waiting. You see, both of these opinions do matter, because at the end of the day, our country is made up of millions of different people with different experiences. And as much as a business owner can look at the economy like differently, that's how a young person is probably going to look at the same concern, but in a different manner. So if you look at parents, they'll mostly focus on safety. If you look at those that do work, they'll focus on prices and opportunities and the wages. And many a times, leadership is judged by the people, not only by these statistic things or announcements or how we go through our daily lives. I mean, not not just that, guys. So people mostly, they just want to see some positive change. They want to see that the community is secure, the village, the town, security, and the young people want to see that, yeah, their future is guaranteed. When you finish, you're gonna get opportunities, are not going to be idle at home. So all these people are talking about the same issues, and one of the biggest issue or concern is crime that is affecting Trinidad and Tobago. So safety is a major concern, not only in TNT but across the world, because if there was no security, that would actually mean that people will move away from that place to look for security where they can sleep without thinking about, oh, somebody might come and rob us, or you see, all those kinds of issues. So security is very, very important. Everyone wants to feel safe. Every families, they want to have peace, peace of mind, and the community wants stability. Businesses want secure environment. In fact, if there is insecurity in any place, oh man, just know that nothing will happen. That place will never ever develop. And you see, one thing with crime, it normally affects everybody from the top there to down there. The one at the top, yeah, it will be very difficult for you want to invest, but there is no way you can invest in an insecure place. So these crimes, they do affect our daily life, they affect our confidence, it affects our future also. And many people in Trinidad and Tobago, they want stronger action on that. They want effective strategies. They want communities to be protected. They want young people to have opportunities, because you see, if you fight crime, it's not just about the enforcement thing, it's about also the prevention. People need to be educated, jobs needs to be there, and the schools need to be there, jobs, everything. Those are the things that people do want. And probably you will be wondering, like, what's the plan that the government should have in place? How are they going to improve this particular safety issue? And when are the good citizens of Trinidad and Tobago are going to feel any difference? And all these conversations, they are very, very important, because security is not just a government issue, it's a national issue. Because at the end of the day, you lack tourists and investors from abroad to come to your country just because of the insecurity issue. Another major concern is the economy. People always feel the pressure for everyday expenses in terms of food, rent, bills, housing, transportation, name them, not just in Trinidad and Tobago, but across the world. So you'll find families trying to manage whatever they have. And you see, people want economic growth, and they also want to feel that growth in their homes, in their villages, in their communities. and they want these opportunities, job stability, a strong economy that creates more opportunities. So you also see young people wanting careers and opportunities, as I talked about. I mean, people just want to better everything. Businesses, they want confidence in the society, in the environment to invest, investors want stability. So, I mean, the question about economy will come in, like, what's the government doing in improving the economy for the ordinary people of Trinidad and Tobago? Because you see, numbers and how it's reported is very, very important, and also personal experiences, they do matter like so much, because at the end of the day, a country that have progress, is beautiful. It gives out beautiful stories out there, and the people want to feel included, they want development. Hey man, I mean, this topic is just too nice to talk about. And managing expectations is something that is always high when there is a new government that is coming into place. The problems that have been facing through in the previous regime, they want the solutions, they want just good accountability. You see, I mean, when a government comes into place, it comes with challenges also, because you see, every decision has a consequences. Every policy normally takes times, and people play a major role. Democracy works when people stay involved, by the way, and when they ask questions, when they participate, when they hold these leaders accountable. A strong nation always needs both the leaders and the good people of the country to work together. So that will mean that the goal at the end of the day will be progress and not division. So the big issue that remains is if Trinidad and Tobago's new leadership is delivering, because as you can see, people have come with different opinions, and we have those that are like, yeah, not yet, I don't know, neutral, and that is part of the democracy that you're talking about. Your voice being of importance, like everyone's voice matters a lot, your experiences matter. And yeah, that's awesome. I don't know what you think about that. Are you seeing a positive change, or what do you think are the areas that needs more attention? We have the crime part, the security part, the economy part, the public service part. Let me know. Leave your comment in the comment section. Let's talk about this, and I'll truly appreciate your presence, my good people. I'll see you in the next video.